Hello, this is Lady J. This is our Launchpad pre-service training. If you're an employee here, then you need to undergo at least 24 hours of training annually. Your pre-service training is a part of that. So we're going to jump right in. Cover the basics. First, we're going to discuss the developmental stages of the children in our care. You were employed here as a staff member, and your primary obligation is caregiving. What does that mean? To give careful attention to the supervision of children that are in attendance each day. So, as a caregiver, your primary responsibility is to give care. Remember that. Think about what that means. It's simple: to give caring supervision to the children that are in attendance that day. So, with the developmental stages of children, remember, at Launchpad, we focus on the development of children in stages, not ages. Many programs focus on, such as public school, focuses on whether or not the child is doing age-appropriate activities for the first grade, or being 6 years old, they are doing this particular activity, or if they're 5, they're doing this particular activity. At Launchpad, we focus on the stage of development that the child is in. So they may be 5 years old, but doing their math at a 2-year-old level, or they may be vice versa, 2 years old, but doing math at a 5-year-old level. We focus on making sure that their activities are appropriate for what their stage is and not only their age. So just remember, the development stage of a child is our primary concern. So you as a caregiver, what that means is that you're always observing the child to make sure that you are aware of any developmental stages that need to be paid attention to or brought to the attention of the supervising staff. For instance, you notice a child is moving really quickly on their reading and their advanced level, or they're moving really slowly where we expect them to be. Either way, I need you as a caregiver to be observing that child's developmental stage so that we can make age-appropriate activities available to those children. So that's our developmental stages. Now, making sure that they have age-appropriate activity is important. So the activities are developed based on the child's stage and not only their age. Now we're going to move to positive guidance and discipline. What does the word discipline mean? Discipline means, or the root word of discipline is disciple, which means one that learns from or one that is taught. So we want to teach our children, not just fuss at them or not demand or be demanding of them. We want to teach them while we demand that they learn. So it's important for you to be authoritative with the children. Be firm with them. They need to understand where the authority comes from, because it makes them feel safe and it makes them feel guided and protected. Your job is to be authoritative, but not to overbear them in a way that they feel unsafe or unloved. So with discipline and guidance and teaching them, make sure they understand what the rule is and why they're violating or how they might be violating the rule. If they don't have any understanding of what's right, they won't be able to understand what they're doing wrong. So your goal as a caregiver is to make sure that you communicate clearly what's expected of the children. And this is not a difficult task. It's something that can be done very simply. Okay, we're going to the park. Everybody line up. So your expectation is that they line up or touch the wall or whatever your directive is. That's what they should understand, and you're teaching them that you expect from them. If they do not follow that, here are the guidelines for discipline and guidance. First, You want to clearly explain what's expected. Give them time to respond. If they do not respond and guidance is necessary, you start with timeout. Timeout is not to be used as a punishment. Timeout is a redirective to give the child time to comply with what you expect from them, or to give you time to explain to them what is expected of them. So the very basics are time matches age. If they're 2 years old, at maximum, they get 2 minutes of timeout. They don't have to live out the whole max at no age. So for 5-year-olds, they get a maximum of 5 minutes of timeout. You don't have to use 5 whole minutes. It may only take them, with your objective of teaching, 2 minutes to get an understanding of what it is that you want them to do and how they might be able to comply. If they get it earlier or sooner, move them out of timeout and back into the group so that they can enjoy and learn through play and interaction with their peers. So timeout is not to be used as an all-out punishment. It can be if the child is misbehaving in a degree or in a way that they require that much time. But if it's not required, then don't feel obligated to use the full amount of time. When they're in timeout, you can simply sit them in a chair away from the group and turn them backwards so that they're right next to you, but they're backwards from the group. They understand that I've done something that has gotten me out of the group, but I'm right here, I'm safe, I'm next to Miss whatever or Miss whomever, and I know that I'm gonna be okay. But while they're sitting next to you, then you talk to them. Do you understand why you're in timeout? We will not hit our friends. We do not throw things. We do not misbehave. We follow the rules, okay? Do you understand me? These are the kind of conversations you will be having with the child while they're in timeout. Don't put them in a corner and leave them and forget about them. That's a punishment. Our goal is not to punish. So number 1 is timeout. If licensing ever comes in unannounced and asks you, what is your discipline and guidance policy here at Launchpad? You will simply tell them, we start with explaining to the child and make sure they understand what rules that they may have broken and why it's unacceptable for them to behave in such a way. Then we use timeout. Time matches age. They, at maximum, will get no longer time than they are in age. So 2-year-olds get a maximum of 2 minutes, 3-year-olds a maximum of 3, and so forth and so on. And after that, if there's more discipline or guidance needed, then we move to what we call positive redirection. Positive redirection here at Launchpad translates as settle down. Settle down now. I need you to settle down. You might call a child by name. Joe, I need you to settle down. We're settling. Settle yourself. Those are different versions of how we say the same thing. Now, if you must raise your voice, you are not to raise your voice directly at any child because that affects their self-esteem. What you will do is raise your voice over the room and then fall back into a quieter volume. So here's an example of what I mean. I'm raising my voice over the room. Class, settle down. Settle down. I need everyone to settle down. Okay, class, settle down. Settle down right now. We're settling. Settle down. Very good. And then praise the class for settling down. A lot of times we have a tendency to push what we want onto the children, but we never praise them for how they make the effort to accomplish it. So here at Launchpad, we make a practice of praising effort, not necessarily only accomplishment. We want them to know that we are appreciative of them at least even trying to follow the rule, even if they cannot or not fully understand just yet what you expect from them. They are learning just as we are.